told you, I saw Homeland Security meetings on C-SPAN. They're going to have checkpoints everywhere and train security guards with federal power that will grope you, that will stick their hands down your pants. It's an act of submission. All over the country today, TSA checkpoints on highways. They say, oh, you don't like it, don't fly. You don't like it, don't drive. They're already announcing you have to have TSA approval to have a job. They're announcing you can't, in your business, use cash in Louisiana unless you're a big box store. Can't have resale goods like garage sales. Can't have lemonade stands. The whole country's turning into a prison. The government's created all these new agencies, all these new control freaks who work for the offshore banks to exsanguinate, to suck dry the country, to raise your taxes and then hand the infrastructure over to foreign banks who then will charge you for everything you paid to build. Now, finishing up with Libya now, they can use that as the front door for the full African invasion, as you said in the Obama deception, Tarpley. Now, finishing up in 1 minute on that, I want to then segue into the announcement of 70+ trillion in Bank of America. In fact, that article was here, but I don't have it. Well, yes, due to run it in. He had it for the TV show tonight, the Bank of America, 70+ trillion backstopped by the federal government. Our whole deficit's 14 trillion. But this is the privatization. It's just give all our money to banks, and then the banks tell us how to live our lives. Pretty good if you can get that work, Webster.
Well, the problem, of course, is everybody's complaining now, right? Occupy Wall Street, they have a list of complaints. Everybody's got complaints. And the big question is, what do you do? What's the action? Well, you need a political mass movement to break the back of finance capital in the form of Wall Street. Frederick Douglass once said, power concedes nothing without a demand. So you want to have political action, have some demands. Obvious things: nationalize the Federal Reserve, impose that 1% Wall Street sales tax, stop the cuts to the social safety net, stop foreclosures and fraud closures. That'll hit Bank of America very hard because they're out there stealing people's homes. Rebuild the entire infrastructure, be it road, rail, energy, public buildings, schools, canals, water systems, and create 30 million new productive jobs. In other words, a mass strike, a general strike growing out of the Occupy Wall Street. The only problem is you've got to sweep aside the current gaggle of counterinsurgency agents who are now running the show, the people from Ad Busters, the Situationist International, these pathetic Indignados of Madrid, who are the biggest failures. I had a lady on my show saying the Indignados were a soap opera for zombies who thought they were making the revolution. Get those people out of there. And wherever you find facilitators and the General Assembly and consensus, kick them out. Go to the American method. That's called majority rule, and rights of the minority are taken care of. Get rid of the facilitators. Ask who is funded by foundations, and if you are, please leave. Get out. That will clear the air enormously.
Yeah, but my thing is they want to push for austerity on the middle class to pay in banker bailouts. And on the right, they got Herman Cain pushing a new sales tax on the people to track and control everybody. What do you make of the French and the Germans not coming to an agreement? Because I've seen the tentative agreements. It's the total transfer of any sovereignty left in Europe, Webster, to this new private banking system that you'll pay your carbon taxes, your VAT to. I mean, they are really trying to do to Europe what Hitler couldn't do. But because it's economic, it's supposedly cutesy. And we're being dominated by the Ponzi scheme operators who are the ones that should go to prison.
If you look at the dynamics of imposing austerity in Europe, there it's done under left-wing auspices. I guess it's done that way here, at least under Obama. Papandreou of Greece, the biggest agent of the International Monetary Fund, is a socialist. He's from the Socialist or Second International. It used to be called the Yellow International. Zapatero of Spain, same thing, a socialist. Now, it doesn't mean they're socialists. These guys are bankers' boys. They're pure agents of finance capital, but the rhetoric and the cover is so-called socialist. You look at some of these other countries, it gets to be the same thing. The number one task there, it's the same thing you want to do here, kick out the agents. Don't let these people dominate. They're having a general strike in Greece. It's the 12th or 13th or 14th time. Get rid of this Papandreou. Get him out of there. And if you get some right-wing monster, and the PP, or whatever this is called in Spain, same story, then you can have actual class struggle in a much clearer atmosphere. Some of the resistance in Europe comes from German bankers, and it's interesting. This guy Schäuble, the guy you see sometimes in the wheelchair, he says, well, these these bondholders need to take a haircut, right? They should get 20 or 50 or whatever % lopped off their bond holdings. And of course, Trichet, the outgoing head of the European Central Bank, says, horrors, horrors. We don't want any austerity for the bankers. They say, we want the sanctity of debt, the sanctity of contracts. If it's a labor contract, they destroy it. But if it's a contract with a bondholder, then they say, okay, this has got to be sacrosanct. Well, it won't work because these countries are in immediate need of a debt moratorium. Something similar could happen here, by the way. You just take $1 trillion of student loans and cancel them, right? And let those zombie bankers eat the losses. Otherwise, you're not going to have another generation, right? The whole process of family formation and building careers and having children, we're going to have a demographic crisis worse than we think because people are being crushed by their student loans. So the idea is now the perspective of mass struggle lies open. The mass strike period is here. Now get into it and intervene with a program. Kick out the agents, kick out the facilitators, and start fighting for a program.
All right, Webster. Well, look, we're going to have to get you back on to talk more about your idea for solutions, but undoubtedly they admit the State Department and others are running this Occupy Wall Street thing in an attempt to have them just call for more taxes, which is exactly what the mega banks want.
Yeah, taxes, what tax? The Wall Street sales tax is exactly what you want.
Yeah, that's not what they're calling for. They're calling for a sales tax.
No. Wait. Who's they? The nurses, right? American Nurses United. This is a militant union, and they're good. These are some fighting ladies. They fought that pig Schwarzenegger to a standstill in California, and they're now intervening into these things saying, we want the transfer tax. That means the Wall Street sales tax. And the only reason that doesn't go through is because you got a bunch of facilitators, these creeps, the people who wouldn't let John Lewis come in and wreck everything they touch. They wouldn't allow this stuff to be voted on. Because otherwise it would be.
Webster, we're going to have to look at that more later, but I appreciate you joining us to talk about the situation in Libya. I appreciate you being on with us. We'll talk to you more in the near future. If you believe in this information and want to support its viral spread, go to the InfoWars store at Infowars.com. We've got the new G.I. Joe InfoWars